Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. Today is a Friday night. I don't know if you hear the scratching behind us, but that's our kitty.
Sadie.
Yes, and this is a Gamers Health podcast. Gamers Health because I'm grateful to be here to be able to talk to you, and Rich and I do it together because we're on this journey together to improve our health, not just physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. It all comes together. So this is the day after Thanksgiving. It's also known as Black Friday, right? And Thanksgiving is a day for historically picking out. Now, I will say, I weighed in this morning, and I weighed in about a pound heavier than I have in the last month and a half. I was like, but I ate controlled. So just, it is what it is. We're gonna talk to you about how our holiday was, and we have I guess you could say, like, what, Christmas, Hanukkah. There's a lot of cultures have an end of the year celebration. A lot of gatherings coming up.
Feasts,
Yeah. So gathering is just part of human nature, and we're going to talk a bit about what we did, and also how we try to maintain the carb conscious, sodium conscious diet even on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, we were talking. We were gonna eat at our local pub, but then it was only indoor seating. They do have outdoor seating that is enclosed on 3 sides, but they didn't know if it would be available with the weather, and it was. But we wound up catering from the pub. But that did mean that things like my staples, like Irish soda bread and Irish brown bread, were things that were not on my personal menu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made a low-carb substitute. It was biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
I found a mix on Amazon, and actually they came out very well. Butter is a major ingredient in these biscuits, and it tasted that way. It was really...
Uh-huh. Oh, that's funny, because the first morning we had them, we loaded it with butter.
Oh, on top of that, yeah. Well, you had more butter on top of butter.
It was very good.
But here's the thing. So it was Rach and I. We're in a 2-family home. We have my parents downstairs, and we really haven't seen my sister, my brother-in-law Chris, my niece Shannon. We haven't seen them in really ages. I mean, they've come over like, oh, Shannon wants to see the dog and walk the dog, and they'll come over with masks, and we have masks, and they're going to come in and take the dog, and as they come in, we go out type of deal.
Sort of trade the dog in passing.
Yeah, and then we'll leave for a couple of hours so they can hang around for a couple of hours, and it's not the same. So what my sister and her family did was they got an appointment for Shannon. Shannon had no school Wednesday. They had an appointment for her 4:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday to get COVID tested. And Shannon got COVID tested, and it was negative.
Mm-hmm.
And right from COVID testing, my sister dropped her off.
She was immediately dropped off.
She was dropped off here Tuesday night and stayed the next 2 nights. My sister and her husband had, COVID testing appointments late on Wednesday afternoon. And immediately after getting tested, they went home. And they basically self-isolated until they came over on Thanksgiving. So, yes, I am high risk. I am type 2 diabetic. I am overweight. I have congestive heart failure. Yada, yada, yada. Rach is at high risk. My parents are in their upper 70s. They are high risk. So we had to take precautions. And, of course, if you listen, a lot of states are saying, the governors out there, don't see family, stay at home. And that, you know what?
Don't mix households.
Don't mix households. And I'll be honest with you, I understand that completely. But if you can do so while
Being safe about it,
truly minimizing the risk, we are social animals. We are social creatures. We thrive on making those connections with others. And I'll be honest with you, the first thing that my sister did when she came over on Thanksgiving yesterday was go, Bubby, I need a hug.
Aww.
And it was very sweet and very touching because, we haven't been able to do any of that for months. So, the reason why we bring up that aspect, and then we're going to talk about, safely eating food, but we're bringing that up because that is an option for those of us who are looking ahead right now at the winter holidays, Christmas, right? Hanukkah, New Year's. There's other holidays coming up. And how do you socialize? Now, again, the more pieces that you throw into the picture, the greater the chance that something will screw up. We added 3 people from one household that were all COVID tested. I'm not advocating have an extended family celebration during the winter holidays for your extended family of 20 plus and have them fly and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you can make a connection with relatives or family or dear close friends that are close, and you can minimize risk. And you can't. I don't think the only way you're going to totally do away with COVID risk is
to do away with COVID.
Well, yeah. Well, even locking yourself in your house, you still get deliveries, right? You're still interacting with stuff. It's still there. One of our neighbors from around the block who we met today while walking the dog, Donka, was out there, and we were masked up, but she was out there with
her mask
and her gloves. Her gloves, and these are food service gloves, so they're not,
they're not the laboratory.
Yes, they're not really doing
like medical gloves.
Yeah, they're not really doing it. They're making her feel good. They're not really necessarily doing anything. But as I say every time when I sign off on the podcast, you have to take actions. You got to use your common sense to take actions to keep yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends healthy and safe. In our case, that was people coming over getting COVID tested. And why was that important? Well, my sister works from home, so in a way, you could say, oh, she's self-isolating. But Shannon's still going to school.
Or was as of...
Well, we'll find out Monday. Well,
yeah.
It might be going remote.
She was as of Tuesday.
Yes. Apparently they're giving her a computer this coming Tuesday, when she returns on Monday. And that might be the signs that the school is transitioning to at-home learning.
I wonder if they're just going to have mass testing of them.
I don't know. And then my brother-in-law, he's basically a sales rep, so he's going to stores on a daily basis. He's going to be interacting. He can't self-isolate. His job isn't one that converts well to working remote. And that's just part of reality. So I was very happy to see the people that I love after they were COVID tested and isolated immediately thereafter. So I thought that was a very good compromise. And
we'll see if Connecticut can.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going. We'll see. Our other in-laws are up in Connecticut, and
she gets that we're both high risk. So that's cool.
Right, but I don't know.
I don't know if they can.
Yeah, pull that one off.
Yeah.
So, but again, rely on your common sense, but at the same time, we are humans. We are social creatures. We need to make those connections. Now, onward to the edibles. So we had turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing and I guess rutabaga or turnips. Irish, it was probably turnips. Salad, like I said, Irish and Irish soda and Irish brown bread. And I made the biscuits for myself and for those who wanted them. And did I have mashed potatoes? I had a little. Did I have stuffing? I had a little. I didn't go back for seconds like I would have in years prior. I didn't pile my plate like I would have in years prior. And when I was still hungry after chowing down, I piled my plate up with salad. And it was very good. And it was very filling. And then for dessert, and now this is the kicker, folks. We got, again.
Before you go to dessert.
Oh, sorry.
You may want to sort of explain sort of how we set up for
the
snacking. Social time before you eat, where
there's a social time.
You eat, you know.
Yeah. Usually the reason why people aren't hungry when you sit down.
Usually you're making the pigs in the blankets and you're not hungry anymore when the food comes. So, you know, what we did was we put out safe snacks for us.
Right. So we had,
you know, and then the parentals downstairs put out stuff that they enjoyed, but we had our safe things that we could enjoy.
We had peanuts.
Their flavor, they're infused with like taco and seasoning, and then the other ones are infused with pickle.
Yeah, dill pickle flavoring. That was very good.
Nice.
Yeah. We did bring down
our hot Cheetos.
Yeah, Fat Snacks makes basically it's a grain-free cracker, which is low in carbs.
That too, yeah.
So I was able to appreciate some of the dips that were down there. And now, because it wasn't going to be a long drive, but I had to drive to pick up the food at 4:30. So I avoided alcohol, but I did have my hop tea.
That was very good.
That was white tea. So that was carbonated tea with hops and some caffeine. And you know what? It's refreshing. And I don't like overpowering hops, but I do like the taste of hops. And it was really, really nice. It was satisfying. It didn't make me feel like, oh, look, my father has a Sam Adams. I should be drinking a Sam Adams. I didn't have that feeling. It was a great and wonderful thing. But then dessert, we made a chocolate cake from Swerve. Swerve is a company that makes sweeteners for baking, but they also have a chocolate cake mix.
It was damn good.
And then we had chocolate icing from Pillsbury, which was no sugar. Now the cake came out great, but it stuck to the pan. Now I greased the pan up with no salt butter beforehand. I probably just should have gone and done like the olive oil cooking spray, because it stuck to the pan even with my best. But once you put the frosting on, nobody could really tell. Nope. But it was. If you're in the Northeast, you probably know Entenmann's. Entenmann's is
bakery.
It's a bakery. They supply,
or used to be anyway.
I think they still have stuff at Stop and Shop. But they will supply some of your corner stores, and they also supply supermarkets. And even as a kid, and I say kid, all right, when I was trying to make my own money, so maybe like 19, 20 in college, you would get the Entenmann's chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. And I still remember there was a time I think I pigged out in one cake in one sitting. You could do that back when you burned off calories and didn't have type 2 diabetes. But I digress.
I used to love the banana crunch.
Oh,
that was dangerous. I had the little chocolate drizzle over it.
But the Swerve,
that was dangerous.
The Swerve cake made a very moist chocolate cake. It wasn't too dense, and the icing on top was spot on. I felt like I was eating a slice of Entman's cake.
Mm-hmm.
It was decadent, and it didn't spike my blood sugar. And really,
we all had half of each.
Yes, there was a German cream cake.
Yeah, some kind of
that was
mousse or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just chocolate cream. It was like a mix between a chocolate it was like a chocolate cream pie and then something else, and it had some chocolate cake in there.
Yeah,
weird.
It was tasty. Don't get me wrong. For me, it was actually too sweet. I guess maybe my sweet tooth.
I think I felt the same way because I didn't eat the whole thing.
Yeah, but after we finish this podcast off, we're gonna be
having some more choco cake and Thai tea.
But that's the whole thing. Is you can't deprive yourself, but if you can substitute stuff within that diet that keeps you from binging, keeps you from going, oh my God, I need my chocolate cake. I need cookies. I need there are I need Doritos. I need
you never need Doritos again.
Yeah, I think we kind of kicked that one.
Yeah.
But you can't just go cold turkey. It's like quitting smoking, right? You have to have a substitute for it. It's a psychological substitute and it's a physical substitute. It is a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, that sort of cake was really, really damn good.
You have to have the rewards and those are safe rewards.
Yep. And folks, it is Thanksgiving, and hey, if you want to know, if there are gamer sales going on, go to tankcarstavern.com. I'd appreciate it, but you might appreciate it too. There's some pretty good stuff, pretty good sales, pretty good prices. I'll be putting some more stuff up tomorrow, probably. But it's a time to be thankful. Right? I mean, I am extremely thankful that I am simply here, able to have this podcast, able to talk with you, able to share my experiences, share how I cope and how Rach and I have changed our diets and changed our outlooks and simply, changed our lives. I could quite easily not be here, but for the grace of God, and I truly do believe that. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to talk with you. And I don't know if I said this before, but when I became a cop, and I took that oath back in '96. I had one goal in my head. I said, if I spend 20 years and I can change one life for the better, turn one life around, I'll know I've done the job I was supposed to do. And about 4 years in, I knew I changed a life for the better. That was emotional. And I guess 2 years after that, 6 years in, I knew inadvertently I had saved a life. Young life, not through any intentional act of my own. My Christmas miracle was a child that literally on Christmas Day, John came over. The child was not breathing, had turned purple, and we had a sector car going. I was a sergeant and a 2-6 at the time, which covers part of Harlem, Columbia University, and job was in public housing. So we pull up there. We get there before the responding sector car, before EMS, and it's like on the 12th floor, and we gotta wait for the elevator because I know if we walk up 12 floors, we're not gonna. Our luck, we're gonna be exhausted before we get up there. Might as well wait for the elevator as long as it's in service. And if the elevator doors open up, it's child's foster grandmother, and I could see this child not breathing. I mean, literally, no sound. And when you see it was a black child, and literally, the child had turned purple, maybe a year and a half old, and grandma was in a panic, and she didn't know what to do, and she saw me. And I looked a little bit different than the other 3 officers with me because I had a gold shield and had stripes on my shoulder. And she, from about 3 or 4 feet away, literally threw this child for me, like a shovel pass kind of deal in football. And it, I caught the child on my left shoulder. The child,
Blech.
yes, proceeded to puke all over my shoulder and back and down my neck. And coughed and cried.
What a lovely feeling.
And I was like, oh my God. And then right after that, the EMTs came, EMS showed up. And
it was a choking victim.
Yeah, but the child was not breathing at all. And said it looks like the child was going to be okay, but they took the child and the grandmother immediately to the hospital. I had to go back to the station house and clean up. And it was literally my Christmas miracle. And I was like, I knew at that point my career I could achieve nothing else for the rest of my career, but I was put in the right spot. Oh man, it's the phone dropping. Right spot at the right time to accomplish something that would literally, in this case, save a life. Not just change a life, save a life. Changing my diet, having congestive heart failure probably saved me from flat-out heart failure. But the damage was there for years from chemo and radiation when I was getting treated from Hodgkin's. So that inadvertently has probably saved my life. And God willing has given me years, if not decades, longer to live than I would have had otherwise. I want to ensure that our listeners have years, if not decades, to enjoy listening to me drone or maybe participate with in Rachel's yoga in the coming year in 2021. You know, these are things that you can only do this if you are drawing a breath. And I want to make sure we all continue to do so. And at the same time, enjoy ourselves, enjoy our lives, because we don't. And then really, what is the point?
What are we here for?
Yeah. All right, folks, I've already given the COVID speech. I'm not going to give it a second time. Be safe, be well. Each and every one of you. God bless.
And thank you so much for being part of our community.
Yes, it is a community. And whether you have questions about health or you're in a bad spot, reach out. Whether reach out to a friend, family, reach out to us. Okay? You can leave a voicemail via Anchor. We won't air it if you don't want us to. tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. If you just need to reach out, you can find me on Facebook. You can probably find me on MeWe too, but I don't always get MeWe direct messages. At least I'm not notified of them, so they can sit for months, and for that I apologize. And folks, knock on wood. God willing, I will talk with you tomorrow, probably with a bunch of voicemails from Joe the lawyer that I've had for the last week and haven't had a chance to air, but it'll be good. Thank you again. Good night.
Night.